As the tensions in the Red Sea continue to escalate beyond control due to the Houthis' persistent destruction of cargo vessels with missiles and drones, it has led to the disruption of international trade, thus negatively impacting the global economy and has made it unsafe for cargo vessels to navigate the Red Sea. The United States has taken a huge step towards the resolution of this conflict. After several resolution attempts that were met with non-compliance, the United States has introduced its intimidating warship into the mix, the USS Eisenhower. What effects will this move have on the ongoing conflict? Will the Houthis retaliate? Come along with us as we investigate the details of how the USS Eisenhower has come to the rescue in the Red Sea. What has birthed this ongoing conflict? Well, as a result of the ongoing war on the Gaza Strip, the Houthis initially expressed their dissatisfaction by attacking Israel. They fired drones and missiles toward the country, but most of the missiles and bombs were intercepted before they could cause any real damage to the nation. This group later took to the Red Sea on the 19th of November 2023 and hijacked a commercial ship. This escalated the conflict even more. The Houthis have since fired missiles and drones on numerous occasions, causing damage to dozens of cargo ships. According to the Houthis, they have stated that their prime target was Israeli-owned ships, since it was just Israel they had a beef with. However, according to reports, this group not only caused damage to Israeli-owned ships, they've also attacked cargo ships that have no link, alliance, or affiliation to Israel. This just proved their malicious intent to intentionally disrupt trades and using the Israeli-Hamas conflict as a smokescreen. As a result of this group's action, the US and UK have responded with airstrikes on Houthi bases in Yemen on the 11th of January of 2024. The airstrikes have been an attempt to put an end to the destruction that the Houthis have inflicted and give them a warning to desist from their actions. Recently, the Houthis rebels fired an anti-ship cruise missile toward an American destroyer in the Red Sea. In response, American and British naval forces launched counterstrikes on Houthi targets in Yemen, thus escalating tensions in the Red Sea even more. The Houthis' assault on global shipping has put the lives of cargo crews in danger and caused economic chaos. These conditions are making it challenging for worldwide trade to function smoothly. Cargoes containing goods worth billions of dollars, including containers and tankers, are now forced to take a 5,000-kilometer or 100-mile detour around the Cape of Good Hope. This situation has led to unnecessary increases in prices of goods and commodities. Now the entire world is starting to feel that impact. Recently, the United States military destroyed a ground control station and 10 drones in areas of Yemen that are being controlled by the Houthis. These strikes were carried out in self-defense because the presence of the Houthis rebels in the waterway presented an imminent threat to the United States naval ships in the area. The Houthis retaliated by firing an anti-ship cruise missile towards an American destroyer that was patrolling the Red Sea. The U.S. immediately responded and shot down the missile seconds before it could make contact with the target. This conflict has endured for several months with no end in sight. The U.S. accused Iran of aiding the Houthis by supplying them weapons and supplies. This made President Joe Biden send a private message telling Tehran to cease. However, Iran has denied being involved in the recent attacks and maintains that its support for the Houthis is purely political, denying direct command and control over the rebel group. On January 11th of 2024, U.S. Navy SEALs boarded a ship off the coast of Somalia to seize Iranian-made weapons bound for the Houthis. The U.S. military has also confirmed that 2 Navy SEALs were reported missing after the nighttime raid. U.S. officials said they found parts of ballistic missiles and cruise missiles that Iran was supplying to Houthi fighters in Yemen. We would like to take a moment of silence here to honor those men who gave the ultimate sacrifice. The U.S. government identified the men as Navy Special Warfare Operator First Class Christopher J. Chambers, 37, and Navy Special Warfare Operator Second Class Nathan Gage Ingram, 27. Thank you for your service, soldiers. The U.S. declared the Houthis as a foreign terrorist organization during the tenure of President Donald J. Trump. This move faced strong opposition from various human rights and humanitarian aid groups from around the world. Later on, Anthony Blinken, the United States Secretary of State, lifted the terrorist title off the Houthi group. In response to this issue, China has officially released its statement in regards to the conflict. The Chinese Foreign Minister, Wang Yi, who recently visited Egypt, mentioned that both China and Egypt have been keeping tabs on the issue very closely. He also expressed concerns over the expansion of the conflict in the region, saying that the priority at the moment should be ensuring the safety and security of navigation and civilian lives. Let's take a look at a temporary solution to this complex situation. Qatar Energy was the first to put in efforts to alienate the tension. This is one of the world's largest natural gas companies. They have stopped sending their tankers through the Red Sea. Although production has not stopped, by changing its route to avoid its ship from being attacked, energy prices are rising. Qatar has laid an example for other companies and counties, and these companies and countries have started making similar moves. This route takes their ships away from the Red Sea to a longer route that is across the African coastline. But this move, although a temporary solution to the current predicament, is going to have a negative impact on the entire world. It not only increases the time and consumption of fuel, but also has a negative impact on global trade, increasing the cost of goods, which we all know gets passed on to the middle and lower classes of countries. According to economists, inflation is at risk of rising again due to the Red Sea meltdown. This would result in pushing the prices up globally. This will have a negative impact on the economic growth of several countries. The next significant impact will be on oil prices, which have already skyrocketed recently. Global benchmark Brent, the global benchmark for navigating crude oil markets, briefly went over $80 a barrel, showing an increase of about 4.3%. Experts also believe that there's a possibility for it to get even more expensive in the coming days. This will lead to the increase in the price of energy, services, and transportation. The most disastrous result would be if it leads to a full-blown war. As the Houthis keep attacking the US and its allies keep targeting them, other nations worry that a group like the Iran-backed Hezbollah might join into the strike, leading to World War III. The cause of this worry is not baseless due to the leader of Hezbollah, Hassan Nasrallah, warning the United States recently. Now to the involvement of a powerful warship. After all the attempts of restoring peace to these waters have been in vain, the US devised a plan that would put an immediate end to the ongoing conflict. A powerful and daunting nuclear-powered ship that has been introduced to the conflict. The imposing USS Dwight D. Eisenhower is a crowning jewel in the Navy's fleet. It started its services in 1977 and is one of 10 similar ships in the Nimitz class. This ship is the first one named after President D. Eisenhower. It was initially referred to as the USS Eisenhower, like the lead ship Nimitz, but the name was later changed in 1970. The ship was built in Virginia at the Newport News Shipbuilding Company. Interestingly, it features the same design as the lead ship Nimitz. However, it has received numerous upgrades over the years to keep up with the newer ships in the class and technology. Since it was put into commission, the ship has been on various missions. It was involved in helping out the Gulf War in the 1990s, and more recently, it was involved in supporting U.S. military operations in Iraq, Afghanistan, and Yemen. Currently, it's the main ship and carrier Strike Group 2. Upon entering service, it replaced the old carrier, USS Franklin Roosevelt, that had been used since the Second World War. On December 26 of 2023, the USS Dwight Eisenhower sent out Super Hornet aircrafts along with the USS Laboon. They destroyed 12 attack drones that were fired upon by the Houthi rebels, 3 missiles that were meant for ships, and 2 ground attack cruise missiles in the southern Red Sea. Not bad for an old ship. A few days later, on December 30th of 2023, a Danish container ship named Maersk Hangzhou, which was under attack by 4 small ships that were under the command of Houthi rebels, made a distress call. The attackers tried to forcefully get on the Maersk Hangzhou, but they could not thanks to the team that was hired to protect the ship. The USS Dwight D. Eisenhower and another naval ship named the USS Gravely rushed to help after getting the distress call. They gave orders to the rebel ships using radios, and helicopters from the Eisenhower were sent as well. The USS naval helicopters fired back at the rebels, and they sank 3 of the 4 Houthi ships. Luckily, no U.S. equipment was destroyed or any crew was injured. While helping, the Gravely shot down 2 missiles fired from Yemen. On January 10, 2024, the rebels launched more missile attacks against ships, this time from the US and the UK. The Eisenhower and other ships managed to shoot down all the missiles. Then, on January 12, 2024, aircrafts from a group called Carrier Air Wing 3, which is on the Eisenhower, took part in missile strikes in Yemen against the Houthi. The cruiser Philippine Sea and the destroyers Mason and Gravely, along with the submarine Florida, all fired Tomahawk cruise missiles. This mission has been considered a success. Now for a little bit of history. In September of 1994, this warship, along with other parts of the 10th Mountain Division, devised a way to work together. This process was referred to as adaptive force packaging. After they loaded the ship with equipment and the division's soldiers, they went to Port-au-Prince for Operation Uphold Democracy. This mission was aimed toward helping to restore the elected government of Haiti. A month after the Operation Uphold Democracy mission, the warship was used in a 6-month-long mission to support Operation Southern Watch and Operation Deny Flight. It was the first time that women were part of the crew on the United States combat ship, breaking glass ceilings. After finishing the mission, Dwight D. Eisenhower went back to Newport News Shipbuilding in July of 1995 for a big 18-month-long upgrade, finishing in January of 97. They made several improvements, including adding a new advanced combat direction system. The ship went on its 10th mission in June of 1998 and came back in December of that year. In February of 1999, it went to Norfolk Navy Shipyard for a 6-month refitting and joined the fleet again in June of 1999. ready for full duty. Hopefully, the involvement of this incredible warship will bring an end to the conflict that has been going on for far too long, restoring peace within these important waters. This wraps up the details on how the USS Eisenhower is being used to restore peace in the Red Sea. Do you think this warship is enough to put an end to the ongoing conflict? Let us know in the comments. And if you learned anything new from our video, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button to Valkyrie Defense for more videos. We'll see you next time.